I do have experience in working with the salesforce.com sandbox in the production environment too. I do have written SQL and SSL queries in the workbench and the query editor also. And I have experience like a Apex class, HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. And I have analyzed the business needs by the like picking the clients and stakeholders for to identifying the problems. And right now I'm working for AT&T in the Plano, Texas as a Salesforce developer. And here I have created the modern enterprise lightning. Here the main responsibilities are to here with the lightning objects. I have added Salesforce classic lightning experience like the migrating from the classic to lightning. And I have worked on the Salesforce on platform like to build the mobile apps by enabling the lightning components. And I do have enabled the order framework by ordering the attributes, and I have updated the Apex controllers and the helper functions, and I have tested apps by appending the multiple and the components to the Lightning applications, and thereby like creating them. And I have developed the validation rules from the custom objects and approval for some fields. And here the main thing I have done in this project is I have created one application in the Lightning, like to create the all the customers information in this Salesforce. By using this Salesforce, here we use the campaigns and opportunities, and the campaigns is the thing we have used in this. The campaigns is for use for like for tracking customer the tracking journey of the customers. And I have developed the validation rules from the custom objects, approvals, and for fields. And I have built CSS for the visual forces and load static sources. And I have implemented Service Cloud like a service console, like a customer and the portal communities. Here, these are the main job responsibilities. And I do have experience with the Apex batch, like processing the larger records, like sending more than 10,000 records to the one organization. And I do have like send the structure from the Service Cloud and the consoling the Lightning Console APIs. Sorry, come again. I do have 6+ of years experience in overall IT. I do have like a 5+ years. Yes, I do have. Like a present project and a previous project also, I do have experience with the Lightning. Sorry, come again. In Lightning? Yeah, like 3 to 4 years of experience in Lightning. Back in India, I started like 2013. After my completion of my bachelor's, I started my doing my job like a software developers. 2013. Yes, I've done my bachelor's like a March 2013, and I have started my project in August 2013. Okay, sure, go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Sorry, come again. Like, got you. You're asking about the object, right? Like a object is mean we do have like a profile and something like that. One profile can be used to the any number of users, and like a sales or service team in the company. Like the main thing I have worked is here is like a profile, and this can be assigned to the same user, or no, we cannot assign to the same user, because like a team lead or the manager need to access the additional records or object that it can be done by assigning permission sets only for those users. These are the objects I have used in my project. Yes, we do have master detail, lookup, and we do have three types of relationships in the Salesforce. Like a master detail relationship is nothing but we do have there are like a many parents and only one child in this relationship. it says when we have deleted the parent one, the child is also deleted in this master detail, and the lookup is also similar to the master detail. Here it is also known, it is known because if the object is the child object is not deleted in this the lookup relationship, like a junction relationship or many is nothing but where we this is nothing but where we can link between two master relationships, creating the three custom objects, something like that. Sorry, come again. You are asking about the sandbox. Like a sandbox is a copy of the production environment, like using for the testing or deployment. For example, I can say if we want to deploy something like a JavaScript code into the sandbox, we cannot directly implement into the sandbox. We cannot directly implement into the Lightning. First, we have to test in the sandbox, and we have to implement that in the Lightning. There are four types of sandbox, like a developer, partial copy, and the full, or the different types of sandboxes we do have in the Salesforce. Yes. No, it's not possible to edit the Apex class and the triggers direct production environment. Previously, right, if we want to dive into the lightning one, first we have to into the box or the testing organization, then we have to deploy in the production a user or with the author Apex permission. Uh, they have must deploy this in the classes using the deployment tools, like the visual force pages can be created and edited in both like a sandbox and the production. But only if the page have something unique, they have to deploy in the first the sandbox. We have to test in the sandbox, and we have to move to the lightning one. You're asking about the email templates, right? Like the HTML with the letterhead, custom HTML, and the visual force. Like in the HTML, we have we can give the permission like creating the template based on the letterhead. In the custom HTML, like the admins have to use having like the edit HTML templates and the permission sets to create the template without using of the letterhead. This is called the custom HTML. And the visual force. In this visual force, only the admins and the developers can create the templates, not the advanced functionalities like merging the data from the multiple records is only available in this template. Sorry, come again. Hello. You're asking. You're asking about the trigger, right? For which in the workflow we do have like a time dependent workflow cannot be done like a created, and every time it's like a added, and we do have like a custom settings in the trigger, like the list custom settings and the hierarchy custom settings. In these settings, we do have a custom settings that provides the reusable set of the static data, like can be accessed across your organization irrespective of the any user or the profile. Like a hierarchy custom settings or the other type of settings that can use in the hierarchical logical for the personally, like a settings for the specific profiles or the users. Sorry, come again. You're asking about the tabular reports or something like that, right? What are the type of reports? Sorry, come again. You're asking about that thing, right? Like a tabular reports and the summary reports, matrix reports. These are the three types of reports we do use in the Salesforce. Yes. But we do use like a three types of reports, like in my project or something like that. So that I have told you like a three reports. Sorry, come again. Can we? Can you repeat the questions once? we can schedule a dynamic dashboard in Salesforce by the connected app. Like it integrates an application within the Salesforce using the APIs, and the connected apps are using like a SAML and the auth protocols to authenticate and provide singles and provides token for use for the Salesforce APIs. Like in the addition to the standard auth capabilities, like a connected apps allows Salesforce admins to set the various security policies and have to exhibit control over who can use the corresponding apps. Previously I told like we do have like a sales like a role and profile in the Salesforce. By using the this is the role, we can track the sales profile. By creating the profile, we can track the sales. Like I can give one example. Like the admin can create one profile in the sales profile, which we will have to access like all the people who are working in the organization. So we can create one profile and we can track all the sales, like what they are doing in that profile or something like that. What is mean by? Like I don't know this one. Sorry for that. Yep, sure. Previously, I told like a role is like we should have the role and profile in the organization. First, the like a profile we do have like one profile to the many users. Like the role is used for the higher level hierarchy, which can allow the permissions in the organization. Where the profile can be used to the one salesperson, like a head can create the role and the other can use this one. The both should be in the organization. What are the like a standard field record that can have which is like auto number and the text field. For generating the auto numbers, the format need to specify while defining the field, like a serial number 1, 2, and the 3, like to generate the auto numbers. Like a serial number 1 and the 2, 3. Here are the three examples which are given in this one. Sorry, come again. Hello. You are asking about the hello. 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 Can you hear me now? Yes, go ahead. You are asking about. You're asking Visual Force components. Like Visual Force is a component-based user interface, like it's a framework for the force.com platform. It is a platform which includes a tag-based markup languages similar to the HTML, and each Visual Force tags corresponding to the course, like a fine granted, like a user, such as the selection of page and a field of a Visual Force. There's both about like 100 built-in components and a mechanism whereby the developers can create their own components in here. What is the use of? Hello? Yes, yes, I can hear you. Here the main thing is we need to test the classes and we have to identify classes in the Apex, like software developers from the around in the world, like they agree the writing code in the test classes with this Apex is nothing but it's similar like a Java, and this is because to test the classes, like here in the creating the robust and the error-free code. Maybe it is Apex or something other programming language. Like we have to test in the more powerful in their own rights. Like a Salesforce requires you to write test classes in the Apex code. It is more powerful because the test classes and the test methods verify a particular piece of the code which properly it is working or not. So that we have to test that. If it's a piece of code fails, then the developer test can accurately locate the test class while having the faulty bug. Like we have to test first in the sandbox, like previously I told. Sorry, come again. SQL is nothing but a Salesforce objected query language. It is similar to the SQL, which we have done in the some other programming languages. In this SQL, we have to previously I have, if you know about the SQL, like we have to write all the queries here, right? It is similar to the SQL where we have to write, and in this SQL we cannot create one or more object at a time. We can create only one object in the SQL like queries. Hello. What are the types of SQL statements you are asking? Hello. You are asking about the SQL statements, right? I don't have much into this SQL one, but I can say why we use the SQL and what is this used for. Static and dynamic, right? Yes. Okay. Like a component. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, application event and the component event. Like in the application event, the scope of the event is like a throughout the Lightning app. And here, any component which I've registered for this event would get a notified. Like a component event, like within itself for the parent component of the event, all the component declared within the parent component will get the notification. And the system event where there are the events which fired by the Salesforce systems, like using the lifecycle of the Lightning app. Yes, we need. Like we have to implement the force dot app hostable that we can use a component as a tab. Sorry, you're asking like a component bundles, like a component controller, helper, style, document, design, SVG, and renderer. We use the different Lightning component bundles. No, sorry. Hello. You're asking what is the reason, right? Yes, because in the Lightning, we do have subscribe an event in the Lightning component. Like it's like a name attribute. It should be like a schedule, like an attribute in the tag or different bundles. Like because in the any Lightning components, like we have previously I told, like if we have fired by the another user, then we can use this Lightning in the Visual Force pages. It need the more security because like for navigating one component to the another component, we need to use the URL for this one so that we cannot use. sorry, or attribute, right? These are the same as a members variable. Like in the Apex class, they are like a type field, and they are the instance of the component attributes. Helps in the making component like a more dynamic. All the attributes have a name, and the type of can be marked by required by specified, like a required, like a true or false. Then it can be to be a defined value, and it have the name rule as well, and it have must be with a letter or like an underscore, and most contain only like a alphabetic or underscore characters. Sorry, come again. Using this lightning, right? You are asking the advantage of lightning components. Yeah, because the lightning components, like it is like a value provider, helps to access the data in the lightning application. There we have provided as we view like something like that in this lightning. Because of the lightning, we can create the rich user interface for the customers. And in the classic version, there is we cannot do something which is we can change to the visual force pages. To create the rich user interfaces, we can use this lightning app. Hello. Yes. Like implementing is the use of the refer platforms like interface, which enables the component to be used in the different context, or the grant access to extra like the context data, and the component can implement more than one or more interfaces. Sorry, come again. Yeah, for this we have to write some code in the component and application event, like a aura, like a register event namespace, like a sample component event type and the component event. When we fire the event, like we have to use like a var component event that is equals to the like component which get the event like a sample component event, like a component event dot fire, and the handle component which is like a or a handler name, and the sample component as a previous I have told you, like it's like a event name, and the action which is like we have to write some code like a handle component event, like this one. This is the code we have used in the Salesforce. Okay. Okay. I can use one statement like use event dot get source in the client side controllers, like to get the button components which was clicked, and to call like a get dot local to get the order of the ID which is clicked from the button. SLDS? SLDS is nothing but the Salesforce Lightning Design System components. SLDS is nothing but, sorry, Salesforce Lightning Design System, which is component library is actively developed to enable the Salesforce developers and to create the uniform look and feel across like a Salesforce related applications, while like adding the CSS best practices and the conversions. Like a public and the global, like a private, public, and the global. Like a private, it is available in the component, like a app interface, event, or the method, and which can be used in the attributes in the future, which can be used in the resources. Like a private is public is nothing but available within your organization only. Like we can use anything in this, and this is the default access value in our organization. Like a global is available in the all the organizations, like a Salesforce organization everywhere. Sorry. Yes. Model view controller, yes. Sorry, lightning. Lightning design system. It is nothing but previously I told like a Salesforce Lightning design system, which can use the component library, which is actively developed to enable the Salesforce developers like to create the uniform look and the feel across the all Salesforce related applications. While creating and adhering the CSS for the best practices and the conventions which are used in the Salesforce organizations. Sorry, come again. How to handle a comma. So can you repeat the question once? Okay. No, I'm not getting what you're asking. Sorry for that. Okay. Yep, sure. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.